Hi, how's everyone getting on with the virus? Lockdown, not the virus, but the lockdown. Can I just say that it brings home for thought, I think. Home for thought because all those people that had big families, everyone in their house like a railway station, kids all around, grandkids and all that. Wow, I just want to put this out. How many people have an elderly person that they forgot about? There's many people that have got that. Or a relative they forgot about. Does the virus thing bring to light how loneliness can actually feel to some of you? I say this as a care worker for the elderly because I used to care for the elderly, and I've seen them practically uncared for by their relatives, not visiting, not being there. Some of them, some. The fortunate ones got visitors. Now, I'm 50 and I'm disabled, yes, and I'm a woman, yes, and I'm a woman in Scotland and disabled, yes. Oh, and English. Terrible things, terrible inflictions. I think it's the English thing the most that gets the Scottish up, go up with the Scottish. But the problem is with the English, we have a foreign tongue. A foreign tongue because it can be a violent tongue, but where I come from in England, it sounds a violent tongue, but it's actually very casually said or meant, or, it's just our language. But unfortunately, you come to Scotland and the language is totally changed. There's language barriers, even though we speak Scottish English or English Scottish, the barriers are still there because the Scottish have their own code talk. Now, as far as I'm aware, where I come from, Coventry, the Scottish are always welcome there. They have their own clubs. We go to theirs, they come to ours. My granddad was Scottish, but that makes no difference. I'm still classed as English. I've been supporting SNP for 11 years, but I'm still classed as English. In fact, I've been supporting SNP much more than a lot of Scottish people. But I'm English, yeah. I'm not a traitor to England, it's just that England, London, 10 Downing Street was not voted in, they were in on default. A lot of people forget that. So when they're giving all these orders for viruses, telling us we're on lockdown and all that, I'm sorry Scotland, but as far as I'm concerned, Scotland has an elected party called SNP, elected, democracy, but London, 10 Downing Street, is no democracy at all because they're not supposed to be there. It's on default. Now, if you look back in history, you'll understand why, but people forget. They think he's voted in. That would be like saying Trump was voted in. The emperor in no clothes. Come on. Oh, that drinks bleach, of course. Anyway, all I'm saying is this. Loneliness is a terrible thing, and I hope we learn from this virus. I don't want one person to get it. I've heard of babies got it and children, and there's a different strain for children now. I don't want anyone to get this, but I would like people to shed a light and spare a thought for people like me, disabled and lonely, with one man, and apart from that, I would say the council might knock the door for a repair twice a year. But visitors are seldom. And you know what? If I had a visitor, I'd yank the person in. I've had homeless people here. People take me for a ride. I've put homeless people up and they've took me for a ride while I've done it. But you know what? It's what loneliness does. You let them take you for a ride because you want to give something. But not only that, you want to make friends. And you know what? Sometimes your compassion and your love and wearing your heart on the sleeve is a good lesson. It's not worth it. For 29 years or more, I've worn my heart on the sleeve, and you know what? I'm really beginning to regret it. Because all you really are is a jester of the court. You know. And Loneliness is a terrible thing, so please, while you're under all this lockdown, spare a thought for an elderly you might have chucked in a home through putting yourselves first. There's a lot of elderly that have been riddled out their homes and fed happy shopper bread through private homes, so the family, I suppose, sell the house, keep part of it. I really don't know. It works to pay for private accommodation, which I might add, I've worked for private accommodations for the elderly homes, and they were fed on happy shopper bread, cheap sandwiches, cheap of everything. After selling their homes for their residential care, does anyone really realise how much for a ride these pensioners are being taken? And spare a thought for the elderly, please, and the disabled and the isolated. I'm isolated because I'm disabled, because I've got connections with the spirit realms, which is quoted as mental illness, but it isn't. I died at birth. I was brought back to life. Consequently, I'm in connection with the spiritual realm. You might call me a spiritualist, call me what the heck you like. I'm still lonely. Bye for now.